Another quick video on gluing this time. So, a couple things to think about. For gluing PVC, you're probably going to cut it, and you're probably going to end up with shavings in there. Now, these shavings will end up in your valve, so it's best practice to just clear them out now instead of having to do it in your valve later. So, as best you can, right? You can use any tool. It doesn't really matter. I even use the pants leg on my jeans there. So try to deburr it. Just get those out. They'll end up in your valves. They will cause them to weep, and you'll have to repair them. So don't do it. Next, you want to get your primer. Purple lets you know that you did it, I guess, if that's something you're worried about. It's also the most available, so it's one I have. So I like to shake off the brush. If you have too much on the brush, you'll look like a 4-year-old painting instead of a professional doing plumbing. And what you want to do on a 1-inch fitting is a 1-inch pipe. On a 1-inch fitting, that's about the width of a standard brush. So we simply coat this. Now, I also like to get down to bare PVC with the primer. A good indicator is the lettering. As soon as that starts to dissolve, any mud imperfections, you really should start to see them clean up. And you will be left with a surface that is primed and ready. Now you can do too much primer, but if you put on thin layers, it's pretty hard to do. So if it's really dirty PVC, you may see me do 2-3 coats, and letting them dry in between is key. This will make a faster weld. This will allow you to pressurize your system faster, and this will just allow for less, warranty calls. Same thing on the fittings. We're going to plumb this. We're going to primer the coupling all the way through. Make sure to rotate your fitting so you can check all the surfaces. It's easy to skip a pretty big spot, which can be a leak. So we are nice and primed. Pretty purple all the way through. The pipe has ended up with a good coat. Now, if you let your primer dry for a while, you won't have it kick out on you. I don't know if you've ever had a fitting sort of push out. That's a little inevitable on larger fittings, but one of the bigger culprits is actually going to be the primer hasn't evaporated completely, so it's still in its volatile state, and it will create a vapor which pushes the fitting out. So if you let it dry, and probably won't do it. Now, gluing, you want as little glue as evenly as possible. As little glue as evenly as possible. This is the objective. So you make sure your brush is not dripping. Typically you're going to coat the inside of your fitting first because you can prevent dirt from getting on the inside. The pipe's a little harder, your outside's exposed. So be smart if you're in a hole. Fitting all the way around, nice and even, not much glue. Same thing on my pipe. Now I'm talking a super thin layer, enough that it doesn't dry right away, but it's little enough that it sets as soon as you put them together. Now push and you twist a quarter turn. And you make sure it doesn't push out. Wipe off any excess if you're left with it. But I got ourselves a nice clean weld here. Thanks for watching.